Hello, everybody. Welcome to James and Jordan Talk to the Internet, the greatest YouTube channel on the planet. We're actually getting more views since I've started uploading clips, so this might actually reach some people.
Well, clips are where it's at.
Yeah.
I don't have the attention span to sit through an entire podcast.
Once I've started completely off the rails immediately. Once I've started going like as I'm editing, just like marking stuff, so I can go back and clip it in like 3 months. But anyway.
Are you not going to compliment my shirt?
It's it's okay. It's not as good as my horse shirt that you got me. Also, this isn't a podcast, so it's not about the shirt. Wear it in 3 weeks or whatever.
Dayman cometh.
So that we can.
Or Nightman cometh.
Just don't even know the fucking name of the play, fake fan.
It's like my favorite episode. Other than Gang Takes the Slopes.
I love when people I love getting that malicious anger. Very fakely, obviously, because I don't give a fuck. When somebody just says something wrong about Star Wars or Indiana Jones or something, like the one thing that I happen to know more about than them, I'm like, oh, you don't even know fucking shit. You're not even a fucking real fan like me. Anyway.
Yeah, I usually just say, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit.
I don't care.
I know what I like.
Yeah, whatever. You want to fucking talk about Star Wars with phasers and the Enterprise, whatever, do whatever you want.
Star Warsheimer.
Yeah. So back to speaking of movies that we know everything about, Jordan.
Barbenheimer.
Oppenheimer. We went and saw last night. You went home and did some homework.
Right.
What did you learn about? First of all, non-spoilers at first. For like the first 30, 45 seconds. This is going to be a spoiler review. We are going to get into the spoilers.
Okay, non-spoilers.
I just want to do like a quick, did you like it, did you not?
I liked it. I thought it was quite long, though.
Yeah, I felt the length. That's what she said.
I think it, yeah. Well, we also saw it in the, what's the Loud movie theater.
Jesus Christ, yeah. I have that on my notes.
Yeah, I loved that.
Fuck.
I thought it should have been louder.
So I also enjoyed it. This is probably going to be one of those ones that is less rewatched for me compared to like the Batman movies and Inception.
Yeah, I don't think I'd watch this again.
Only because it's so long.
Yeah.
I think that if this was like a 2-hour movie, it would be a lot more watchable, like
it's
rewatchable.
Like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Exact, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It's a Christopher Nolan movie. It's not going to be bad, probably.
What do you mean, probably? You've already seen it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, Christopher Nolan has a reputation for making pretty good movies.
Yeah.
But eventually he will make a bad movie. It'll happen.
Maybe he already has and nobody talks about it.
Interstellar.
It's a good movie.
It's okay. Anyway, that is the non-spoiler section of the video. We're done talking non-spoilers. Spoilers from this point on. If you don't want to know anything about this thing that actually happened in real life that you probably had to learn about in high school a little bit. No. Actually, I didn't learn about it.
No, they never taught about this. They told us Einstein built the bomb.
Yeah, I was under the impression that he was involved in the Manhattan Project, which I think he was to a degree, but probably not like actually building.
Yeah, but just coming up with that one theory.
I think
so, sort of involved, but not.
I think he
like
might have been like he
Consultant.
wasn't like directly involved, but he was like asked.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
As outside assistance maybe, or something. Because there's that Sliders episode where they say that in that reality he built the bomb wrong, so it didn't blow up, and then they used it to deflect an asteroid.
Well, it's in the movie where Oppenheimer goes to Einstein and asks him about this guy's theory. So.
Einstein, cool guy. I think that most people would probably say, if you ask any Joe Schmo on the street who's the smartest person to have ever lived, I think that's probably the answer most people give.
That's probably anyone they know. I mean,
yeah,
very recognizable face.
Stephen Hawking, maybe they might know.
Yeah.
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
He just got married. So yeah, non spoilers over. Back getting into my notes. Lots more sex than expected. Did not see that coming.
Well,
both figuratively and literally.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming either. But yeah, so apparently he's a massive womanizer.
Yeah, he fucks.
Yeah, I think
like
he
cheats
on his wife with 2 different women.
Well, he cheats on his first wife with a woman.
Right. And then there's the blonde-haired woman.
Hold on. He cheats on his wife. They were married, right? The first woman? The communist? That he fucks at the party? thing at
That was
very beginning?
before he met his wife, though. So
Yeah,
and then he cheated on her.
They were
with
married, right? The first time?
Her. Were they?
I don't know.
I don't think they were.
His partner
Right.
cheated on her with a different woman who was married, got her pregnant. She got divorced. He split with her, the first woman. They got married. Then he cheated on his now wife, definitely.
With the other woman.
With the first woman.
The first woman, right.
Well, and then later comes to light that he was cheating on maybe both of them?
Right, allegedly.
With a blonde woman.
The blonde. He was definitely had something going on with her.
Well, yeah, but we don't know the timeline of when that started.
Right, this movie's kind of...
It's a Christopher Nolan movie.
It's not... It doesn't... Okay, so the black and white scenes, I guess, were meant to...
I heard the rumor was that those were exactly accurate.
That's not what I saw. The thing that I saw said that the black and white scenes were meant to represent, like, what was... I mean, obviously, this is from, like, 1945, so, like, what was, like the now. And then the other scenes were, like, in the past. Because you know how every time I cut to the black and white, it would be, like, them in trial after, and then the regular colored scenes would be
but not
what was
always,
going on.
Because you see the scene of Einstein standing next to that pond in black and white.
It wasn't in black and white.
It was the first time.
You sure?
Yes. Because I remember thinking, oh, we're going to see this from Robert Oppenheimer's perspective. We're going to hear what Einstein says. Because in the trailer, it's in color.
I don't remember Einstein ever being in black and white.
He was. I think twice. We can go see it again right now if you want.
Sure, I'm sure there's a showing at what
we just
time
walk
is it?
in and we're like, no, this is past the scene we want. We're going to wait.
It's probably a showing at 7:30 or something
Oh
like
my
that.
God. Can you imagine going in to see that at like midnight and getting out at fucking 3:30 a.m.?
If there's a midnight, there better not be a midnight showing. That's just sick.
That'd be rough. I would say good performances throughout. Everybody in this movie was amazing.
Yeah, well,
Cillian Murphy is a great actor.
Like the cast for this movie is crazy. Like all the minor roles are like A-list actors or B-list. Like they're
people whose names you never hear.
Right, but
spoken.
You'll recognize every single
Jack
person
Quaid.
in this movie pretty much. Like which is kind of interesting. But you never, like, the whole time you're kind of like the acting's great, but then you're like still trying to think like, wait a minute, I know this guy. You know what I mean?
Like the smarmy little not Matt Damon, but his like assistant guy. I forget his name, but he's in Chronicle, and he's the green. When I turned to you and I said Green Goblin, he's Green Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Which guy?
The smarmy little guy with the glasses, who's like Matt Damon's assistant military guy.
It's also has the guy from The Boys.
Which one? Jack Quaid, yeah.
Yeah. And then also it's got guy from Cocaine Bear and Solo.
Yep. But the guy in that secret meeting they have between Robert Downey Jr., Green Goblin, and that other dude who they get to write the paper or whatever. The guy who writes the paper is the guy from The Dark Knight that Harvey Dent tries to get information out of, and the Batman's like, he's a paranoid schizophrenic.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I turned to you when that guy was on screen. Okay. I said The Dark Knight.
Okay, because I recognized him. He's in
I don't think Tom Hardy's in this movie.
I don't think I saw him. I don't know.
Which is kind of
he could have been in it.
Weird. Yeah, he played Einstein's hat.
Yeah.
Which, side note, Einstein, sick hats.
Well, you know the guy is the paranoid schizophrenic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, I didn't recognize him from The Dark Knight, but he's in The Boogeyman.
Okay.
Stephen King movie.
Sure.
And he plays a
paranoid schizophrenic.
I mean, he comes across as a paranoid schizophrenic, but he's not actually, because it's a horror movie and the thing's real.
Right.
But he I guess he's got typecast as like, he's got the perfect.
He's just like,
seriously, you should watch.
Just slightly abnormal enough looking.
No, he's got like
he could be up to something.
The perfect like sad face.
Yes.
Like seriously, like I'll show you a clip from The Boogeyman after this. He just has the perfect like broken down, like dead inside look like of anyone I've ever seen in my life.
He's great.
Yeah.
Matt Damon was really good, as almost always he is.
There's no showing past 8:30 of Oppenheimer, by the way.
No, that's bullshit. We should go
there's
drive
no way
to Boston and see it in IMAX.
They're not going to make their employees stay till like 3 in the morning.
The bomb stuff was really cool.
Yeah, so
do you want to explain some of the stuff that you learned, or try to explain it, because it, as we mentioned, it doesn't really make any sense because that's just quantum physics. Yeah, they do a lot of the math in this movie without actually explaining any of the math.
Why would they?
It's kind of
they didn't explain it in real life.
Yeah, they did.
They understood it.
Some of them did.
The vast majority of people, myself included, are not going to understand what they're talking about. You know what? Like basic.
I feel like I get
the idea.
I think they could have gone a little deeper.
It's wild. It's crazy. It's nuts.
So basically, they're trying to build a fission bomb. If for some reason you don't know what the fucking Manhattan Project is, I guess you would. You might not if you're not American, right? You might not if you are American.
At least one other country that knows of it.
But the Manhattan Project was a project in the early 1940s, late 1930s, started up.
Yeah.
To build a bomb
before the Nazis.
Before the Nazis, because it was discovered that you could split an atom by firing a neutron at it. A neutron is a subatomic particle. Fire it really fast. If you fire enough of them, there's a whole thing with like, I can't get into it. It's too complicated. I don't even understand most of the stuff I'm talking about.
That's how I felt last night.
Neither of us are physicists.
No.
Neither of us have studied physics beyond high school.
Okay, so even if you were, this is what I've learned just based on talking to you after reading and watching full-on documentaries.
Yes.
For an entire night.
Yep.
Like 3 hours. After a certain point, there's no answer.
Correct. It just
and I'm okay with
sense.
that now. But I was trying for a while to find an answer to something that didn't exist, feeling like a complete idiot. Now I feel like slightly smarter.
I can send you the Feynman lectures where he talks about this. Richard Feynman is one of the people on the Manhattan Project. He was played by Jack Quaid from The Boys. He was the one playing the bongos, which is real.
That was annoying.
He played the bongos for real.
That was really annoying.
He would also just be an asshole in the Manhattan Project. Like, he would just try and sneak out and stuff. He was just like this trickster.
Nice.
He's great. The basics of the fission reaction are how do I explain this? You have an atom of uranium, typically. Sometimes it's plutonium later on, but you need uranium to make plutonium. Yeah. Uranium atom, enriched, so it has...
highly combustible.
Nope.
The plutonium?
That's... combustion. It's not combustion. It's different. It's more unstable.
Yeah.
Basically. You fire a shit ton of neutrons at it, and eventually one of those neutrons will hit the atom in a way that will split it into its base components, neutrons, protons, and the electrons kind of do whatever they're going to do. But then it's the rain.
Yeah.
Sounds like we're going to die. It's like a clock. Those protons and neutrons and electrons explode out, and they will hit other atoms.
Which then explode out.
And if you don't control it, like in a nuclear reactor, Chernobyl, it goes critical.
That was on TV.
Yes.
No, it was like a neighboring city that was abandoned as well.
Yeah.
What was that one called?
Pripyat? No, that is Chernobyl. Pripyat is Chernobyl. There's different names. There's too much.
Whatever.
Back to physics. We understand physics more than we understand Russian fucking naming schemes, and we don't understand physics. The goal was to, instead of firing neutrons at it, because that's very inefficient, you could do the gun method where you shoot they talk about this. You shoot, you have a sphere. Jordan's chugging water. You have a sphere of uranium or plutonium, and it's like got a cavity in it, and then you fire a slug that fills the cavity at a lot of, very high speed, and that compression will slam everything all together, and then there will be enough electrons and neutrons and stuff firing off because of the radioactive decay to start the reaction. That's not reliable, really. So what you do is you surround the core of plutonium or uranium with conventional explosives, and you direct those explosives in so the compression wave compresses everything all together, so that the critical mass, like the number of atoms you need for critical mass, density, and like it all plays a part, but you reach this threshold if you get them dense enough that it will undergo this reaction. After the Trinity test, Oppenheimer has some second thoughts, as you would.
The look he gives, like the look of like horror on his face, I thought was fantastic in that scene where they do the test.
But in the bomb, I forget which one it is, but one of them, they have either 10 pounds of plutonium or 30 pounds of uranium. Does that sound right?
I don't remember.
They had like a bowling ball of uranium.
Oh. Yeah, it was probably like a 10-pound thing then.
And uranium's pretty dense, so it's like, I think it was 10 pounds of plutonium or 30 pounds of uranium. The amount of actual material that underwent the fission before it exploded all of the rest of it away so that it couldn't undergo fission weighed less than a banknote. And it killed like 100,000 people, the one bomb. Yeah. You can see why they've only been used once.
What was it, like 40,000 in one city and 80,000 in the other?
Yeah. And then if you calculate the radiation,
yeah, it was like 220,000.
Yeah. So
that's insane.
Yep.
Within a few days.
Yep. A lot of that being literally instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nuclear war,
heard
man.
Yeah, I was watching a video on the because in the movie, so they're showing video footage of the aftermath.
Yep.
In Hiroshima and Nagasaki. But like I was looking up some actual photos, and they were pretty gruesome.
Yep.
In the video I was watching, the guy was like, "This is basically all I can show before they would like flag this video and get it taken down." He's like, "If you really want to see," and I didn't look those up.
Yep.
But based on what I was shown, I can only imagine like how fucked up. Like
yeah, the people who died instantly were the lucky ones.
Yeah.
Radiation is, I mean, you've seen Chernobyl. Radiation is the scariest thing.
Yeah, it is. It's
electricity and radiation are the two scariest things because they're the things you can't see and will kill you. Like there's no, oh, I might be able to survive getting this amount of light. No, you'll just die. You'll just die. Same with radiation. Like if you look over the edge of the reactor in Chernobyl, you're just gonna die.
Lick the elephant foot. Was it the elephant foot or what?
What? The Elephant Man? What are you talking about?
No, the epicenter, the middle.
Oh, I forget what they call it.
In Chernobyl?
Yeah, I forget what
they call it. I think it was like elephant foot or something.
Yeah.
Lick that thing.
Yeah. Plutonium on it and uranium on their own aren't actually that dangerous. I mean, they are. They'll give you cancer if you like carry around a piece of uranium. Eventually, like Marie Curie. Yeah, get that out of your
right
wallet.
Now. God damn.
You're demagnetizing your credit card stripes.
Is that why it gets declined all the time?
Yeah, that's why you have to suck dicks in the back to pay for your groceries.
Jesus, cash only. Guy tried to pay me with a card one time. I was like, what?
They didn't talk about the demon core in this.
The demon core.
The demon core. This is an experiment that was run. We're getting a little off topic. We'll get back after this, I promise. And then we'll jump over to Barbie. Because I saw both of these at the same day. And I got a little loopy at the end. But the demon core was supposed to be in a bomb. It was just a chunk of uranium, I think. Maybe it's plutonium. It was a chunk of plutonium. And like I said, on their own, they aren't dangerous. You need to induce criticality for them to actually be dangerous. And one way to do that is to take beryllium and make a sphere.
Beryllium sphere?
Yep. From Galaxy Quest.
Look just like that, right?
No. Ours was made of wire and paper mache.
It's a Christmas decoration.
He lied.
But inside I see many rooms. Back to Oppenheimer, those poor people.
But
he's like Cyrus.
if you take it and you like make a Pokeball out of it and you enclose the plutonium or uranium in it, the neutrons that are being fired out will reflect back in. So it won't blow up, but you'll die of radiation poisoning. So what they do is this one dipshit, actually this happened twice, slightly different circumstances. This guy had a beryllium sphere, and they called it tickling the dragon's tail, where he would have the bottom sphere with the sphere of plutonium in it, or uranium, whatever. I'm just gonna call it plutonium. I don't give a fuck. In it, and then you'd have the top sphere, and he would hold it open with a screwdriver, with a flathead screwdriver, and he would let it close almost all the way, and you'd watch the Geiger counter go up, and he would just like wiggle it back and forth, and he did this a bunch, and then one day, the screwdriver slipped, and he died 2 weeks later of radiation poisoning. And then the government was like, okay, fucking stop. This was one of the smartest people on the planet.
Why was he doing this? Just because.
Yeah, why not? You got a chunk of plutonium, you got a beryllium sphere, fucking do the fucking Pac-Man, you know? But they actually did some computer analysis like decades later, because this was again in like the mid-40s. And they found out that the beryllium sphere on its own wasn't enough to induce criticality. His hand on the top was. So if he had just gone like that and let go, he would have been fine. And I'm not laughing because this guy died, because it is tragic. He died a horrible death.
Hell yeah.
I'm laughing because it's fucking insane that one of the smartest people on the planet would just do this. It's ridiculous. So back to Oppenheimer.
The explosion in that wasn't CGI or
correct,
anything?
Yeah. That's not that difficult, though, I don't think. I think I could do that.
I kept trying to find... They kept showing me videos of how it was done, but they never really, like, explained it.
I would have done it is it looked very gasoline-y because it was very fiery. I would have just built a big tower of, like, like, trash bags filled with gasoline with dead cord going down it in the shape of a mushroom cloud. And then I would have just ignited it. Yeah. Because then you get that shape of that fireball.
They don't
just
really
film it in high speed.
They don't really well, no, they do show the mushroom cloud, but it's as if you were looking through like one of those welding eye protecting things.
Welding lens.
Yeah. Welding lens.
The shots where you see like the weird like super slow motion where it's like
just the flame.
Not even the flame, it's just like it almost looks like a jellyfish. And you see like the tendrils falling.
Yeah.
That's real. I mean, obviously it's not real in the movie, but that is what that looks like.
Yeah.
I've seen those photos. It's fucking bizarre. That's like a
would that have been like
the
first mushroom cloud like ever seen?
Yeah, that was the first time that it ever happened. Like in this solar system, at least.
But there's no way you could get a mushroom cloud from something natural, like.
Not a a mushroom-shaped cloud, maybe from like a volcano, because that's just how fucking convection and stuff works in the atmosphere. But that was the first time that an explosive had done that. New elements were created that day.
It's insane that like that's not even the biggest like bomb explosion.
No, not even close.
Can be. Yeah, like that's small.
Oh, that there can be. No, in terms of like planetary,
I mean, like that exists.
Yes, it's relatively small still. But in terms of like the biggest energy thing that could happen. Not even on the scale.
Oh no.
Like, we're talking about like stars 1 billion times the size of the sun collapsing.
That would be instant for us, right?
What if the sun fucking exploded?
Are we just like, do we have to burn a little, or are we just gone?
I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't answer that question. I actually don't know.
Because I don't want it to be like T2 or anything, you know, the playground scene.
I think that might happen.
Oh, shit. That would suck.
No.
I think we'd be pretty fucking gone, like, instantly.
We'd
right?
definitely die, because the sun would go away, and that's the source of all energy.
No, we got the moon.
Nope.
The moon, it reflects the sunlight, so...
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the Earth is flat, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I can't tell you. I'm not a fucking astrophysicist.
But what if it blows up and then we go like this and then we fall into space off of the flat Earth?
Well, I think that the sun exploding would send projectile and then it would flick it.
But the sun's not real, right?
No, it's real, but it's not.
In the
it's
flat
not really
Earth
far
world?
away.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to explain the flat Earth? That's a whole other thing. I can and will explain the flat Earth.
So are we like chickens, and that's just our little like we're little chicks, and that's like our heating lamp?
I can explain the entire thing.
I don't want to know the entire thing.
I can explain. I could be the king of the flat earthers because I understand it better than them. I understand they're stupid.
Most of those people are just trolls.
Oh yeah, absolutely, like 99%.
There's no way they actually believe that shit.
No.
They're just like getting people all wound up.
I know some people who believe some pretty dumb stuff. So
No, I'm sure some of them do, but
I enjoyed the name drops of all the physicists because there are people that I know that I don't know how many people know these people exist. Like Niels Bohr. Do people know who Niels Bohr is? You don't know
Probably
who Niels Bohr is? Do you know who Niels Bohr is?
Niels Bohr?
Yeah.
Not by name.
Like one of the pillars of modern physics. Heisenberg, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.
Who's the guy who's in Germany? And they were like, that he'll never work for them. Heisenberg?
No, because Niels Bohr was in Germany. Heisenberg was working with them, I think. Or maybe he was working with the Russians later. No, Heisenberg wasn't working with the Nazis. He ended up working with the Russians, I think.
And there's the Dutch guy. Or the guy they take from Denmark. Whoever he was.
The guy they sneak out?
Yeah.
That was Bohr.
Bohr.
Yep. Some people they don't say their name, like Richard Feynman again. But you know it's him because he's fucking playing bongos. And that's the thing he did.
Yeah. I liked it.
I enjoyed it as well.
You said you wanted to talk about the sound?
My last 2 points are, why does he hate ears?
Why does he what?
Why does he hate ears?
He hates ears?
Yeah, because Tenet, you can't fucking hear anything. And this movie, it's just like fucking sound all the time.
Christopher Nolan hates your hearing. I wanted it to be louder.
This is a Christopher Nolan movie. I better turn up my hearing aid. Oh my god, I'm
my
deaf.
god, if you had hearing aids in there, yeah. I thought the seats were going to start shaking.
I almost plugged my ears because I was like, I want to be able to hear the dialogue that comes after this.
Everything else is like...
It's not like a sharp explosion. It's just like a sustained...
No, it was like a...
It just keeps going for like 45 seconds. Like
that was the best part in the movie.
Yeah, oh my god. And then I said, why does he hate eyes? Because at least 5 times in that movie, it goes from the darkest scene where your eyes are super adjusted to low light to just out in the brightest sunlight you've ever seen in your entire life.
The location's beautiful in this, by the way.
Yes, very.
Like
beautifully shot movie.
Yes. Yeah, very good.
So I'm gonna give that a 7.5 out of 10.
Probably around the same.
Yeah. All right, and then I cut there. Actually, I have to say that everybody should subscribe, right? That's how you're supposed to do YouTube?
I don't know.
Hey, everybody, subscribe so that Jordan can eat tonight.
I've already eaten.
Patreon.com. It's true. I saw him mow down on a McDonald's.
Original chicken
no,
from
you're
Burger
eating
King.
a Burger King, yeah. Subscribe, follow us on the things. I don't post anything anywhere because I don't give a fuck. Patreon.com/JJTI if you want to see Jordan eat a bag of dicks. He'll do it.